We're in Miami and we're driving the Mini Cooper SE. That is Mini's first real deal electric car. Yeah, they leased one a while back that you couldn't hold on to, so we're not counting that one. This is their first one. Coming up in a little bit, Evie D is going to drive the Mini Cooper SE. But before that, information explosion. It's actually quite fortuitous that both Evie and I are here to drive the Mini Cooper SE because we both own Minis. I owned a 2002, you owned?
A 2008?
That is correct. We're the perfect people to drive the new electrified Mini Cooper. Does it still have the essence of a Mini Cooper even though it's electrified? Let's find out. Style! When you look at the Mini Cooper SE, what do you see?
I see bubbles.
You sound like a crazy person. What do you mean by bubbles? Explain yourself.
Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. It has a bubbly personality.
Let me translate. It looks just like a Mini Cooper, except something is just a little bit different. It's like when somebody you love becomes a zombie. It's just a little bit different. I mean that in the best way possible. Would you say that's a yellow or green accent?
Yes.
Let's say yellow. We're gonna go yellow accents on the side mirrors, and you've got these asymmetrically designed wheels that are meant to evoke the image of a British plug, like you'd plug in your lamp at home in England. And then this Mini sits up 0.7 inches higher than a standard 3-door hardtop. You have a lot of energy in a battery pack. You like to keep it reasonably high off the ground, so it sits up just a little bit higher, but I don't think that ruins the look.
I really like that you can choose to have it blend in and look like a standard Mini if you'd like.
Oh yeah, you can delete the yellow accents.
Unlike other electric or hybrid cars which have very distinct, look at me, I'm electric styling, this really blends in and I love that.
Style points. A. Interior. That lightly modified vibe from the exterior carries over to the interior. So you've got like a little yellow stripe here. The only other distinguishing features are this 5.5-inch digital gauge cluster, which is not found in the normal Mini, and then the dedicated drive selector down here is unique. Oh yeah, and there's also a little yellow detail here on the start-stop switch. But it feels just very classic Mini Cooper, which is, a lot of like nice little soft surfaces, maybe a little bit harder and scratchier plastic as you move to the back. But it just feels very familiar. If you like the Mini Cooper, you will like the electric Mini Cooper.
Correct.
Rear seat space is really better than you would expect. My head clears without issue. My legs, as long as I am in front of myself and I want to be nice to the other version of me that's behind me, it's pretty reasonable in the back seat there. So in terms of space, it's exactly what you get from a normal Mini Cooper.
Which is to say, not a lot, but perhaps enough.
Yeah, not a lot, but enough. How about family friendliness? You owned a Mini Cooper before our daughter arrived, and then when she arrived, we sold it to get a soulless Honda CR-V, which has served us well. Could we now, with a 4-year-old, use this for family duty? What do you think?
This is the question I'm really asking myself, because as soon as I sat in this, I wanted it.
The rear latch points are easily accessible. Getting in and out of the car would be a bit of a challenge versus a 4-door, but I think even though our daughter's not here, she could probably manage. In fact, she might enjoy the adventure.
Getting an infant into a car seat is why I sold the Mini.
If you have an infant, maybe forget this. If you have a small child, this might actually work. All right, official judgment. Is the Mini Cooper SE family friendly?
I'd say not for every family. If you're a family that's dedicated to fun, it's family friendly. Yay!
So Muzio standard,
Yeah.
family friendly. The rear windows do not roll down, so no rear window test, but I will armrest test in an 8 and 4 position. My arm rests quite comfortably, soft spots here for my elbows, and this is an interesting one. You can pull this here, and the center armrest can adjust height. I'm going to give that 2 hearty elbows up. While sitting here cursing Florida traffic, I will remind you that if you'd like to see what I'm driving or flying between YouTube videos, Follow us on Instagram. Future Evie has put my handle down here and put your handle over there. We'd love to have you follow us. You can see what we're doing as a family over on her channel. And if you want something that's not cat or squirrel related, come watch mine over on Instagram in motion, hopefully. Sweetie, it's time we had a frank and honest discussion about torque. 270 Newton meters, that's about 199 pound-feet of torque. That's the kind of power that lets you accelerate quick enough that the car will warn you you're about to crash into a 4 Series convertible.
Thank you, car.
Electric torque, to my sensibilities, pairs very nicely with the joyful driving demeanor of a Mini Cooper. I can just use full throttle acceleration. Whee! And there's that instantaneous torque. When you turn the vehicle on, it automatically defaults to the most intense regen braking. So my foot is not on the brakes, but I come off the accelerator and there's a lot of regen there. So you can just use one pedal, accelerate, come off the accelerator, and you'll brake. In fact, you can bring the Mini SE to a complete stop and never touch the brake pedal.
Wow.
That said, if you like a more traditional driving feel and you like using the brake pedal, just a little flip of the toggle right here puts it in the lighter regen mode, and then you'll kind of coast. What's remarkable to me is that the brakes in the Mini Cooper SE feel pretty darn natural. I've driven enough electrified vehicles that have wonky brake feel that it's something I always scrutinize, and that's pretty darn good.
By scrutinize, do you mean complain about excessively?
My job, sweetie.
You're right.
I get paid to complain excessively. Look, I don't understand how the economy works. I was tempted to do a $500 question with you, but it's so stupid easy that I'm not going to do that for a shiny quarter.
Well, I'm not even going to try.
Are electric cars heavier or lighter than their gasoline-powered equivalents?
I'm going to guess heavier because batteries sound heavy.
Batteries sound heavy?
It's a quarter. What do you want from me?
You just stumbled your way into a quarter. It's true.
Yay!
Yes. So the Mini Cooper SE is about 320 pounds heavier than an automatic equipped Mini Cooper S. So It is heavier because there's the battery pack. Where the battery is placed is low and to the aft of the vehicle. That does two interesting things. It lowers the center of gravity substantially versus a standard Mini Cooper, and a low CG tends to contribute to great handling. And also, by having some of that weight rearward, it evenly distributes the weight of the vehicle front to back. That may have some implications for getting power to the ground if you're really accelerating quickly, but that might also have some advantages when trying to drive quickly, which is something we're really exploiting right now. I'm doing 3 while we're waiting for a curve in the road, and I don't know, maybe Florida just doesn't have any of those. Let's let Evie drive. Okay, here we are. Well, while magically transporting me to the right seat.
That regen braking.
Yeah, it also transported you to a very safe, nearly abandoned neighborhood, so this should...
I'm excited to be here.
But not too excited.
That's right. That's not my style.
All right, took a left there. How does this feel versus your old Mini? Does it feel familiar?
Ooh, this does feel familiar. Oh, I miss driving a Mini.
Aww. Why don't you come to a complete stop?
Okay.
And then just floor it for a second.
For a second?
Yeah, there's a stop sign up there, but floor it.
Ooh.
Okay, that's good. Right. And what do you think?
It feels zippy, just like I would expect from a Mini.
We've achieved zippy status. Punch it. In talking to the powertrain development people at Mini, they did make some special accommodations with the stability control and traction control software to accommodate for that instantaneous electric torque, because otherwise you'd just be spinning tires all over the place. And it seems to do a really good job of getting the power to the ground. My little bit of dismay is that there's not a lot of needless tire spin, and to me that's a cornerstone of the Micah driving experience.
Oh, yes. How does screaming fit into that?
I mean, that's a natural part of the heavy driving experience. Having spent just a little bit of time behind the wheel, are you feeling more or less inspired to buy a Mini Cooper SE of your own?
Definitely more. I really miss driving a Mini. It being small, I feel like saves me a little bit from my own blind ineptitude, because You can stay right in the middle of the lane very easily.
The Mini Cooper SE. It's sweetie sized. Hang back for just a sec, baby.
Okay.
Let's experience some of that needless full throttle acceleration. Yeah, that's good. Now feel the brakes.
Ooh. That is delightfully zippy.
And you have had enough fun. Oh boy, so nice to be back. But wasn't it great that you got to try the Mini Cooper out a little bit? There's a very good reason why the Mini Cooper SE is going to be used mostly as a urban, like a city car, and I'll tell you why coming up in the next segment. But in that environment, the immediacy of the electric torque is, I think, a really great asset. I've set myself up here with a bit of a dilemma. I'm in the middle lane. I need to get into the right lane, and very quickly for this south. Wow, a right turn from the left lane. You know, I thought I was going to be bold.
That was great. Thank you, Florida.
Yay, Florida provides. Oh, and look, we got our windowless white van and everything. While sitting here, I'll note that there are 4 driving modes. There's green mode, which is a little more efficient. Green plus, which turns off the seat heaters and makes everything really boring. And then sport mode, which I'm flooring right now. Okay, hey, mission accomplished. Electric torque for the win. It's a very gentle left-hander. Car feels good though. Track's true. Weaving here at this on-ramp using the available space, it feels very much like a Mini Cooper, which I think is a pretty strong endorsement. I will say that ride quality is great. This is not the beat you up kind of harshly suspended Mini Cooper experience that we may have been expecting that was last established in a classic Mini Cooper.
Oh,
it feels
yes.
very much like a modern car. Very nice. Emotion factor. You're the one between us that most recently owned a Mini Cooper. You take this. What do you think? How's the emotion factor?
Everything that I miss about my old Mini, I'm experiencing here. Like, it's so adorable. It's really fun to drive. It looks cute. I feel happy when I walk up to it.
And electrification has its own qualities of fun that are infused into that Mini DNA. Emotion factor, strong.
Yes.
Yes, very strong. If you're feeling emotionally moved to buy a Mini Cooper of your own, check the Kelley Blue Book listing in the description. Remarks. One of my issues with the Mini brand is that their products can be very expensive. The SE is a true exception. So base price is a little under $31,000, including destination charges, which sounds like, okay, that's kind of what I expect. But that doesn't take into account federal tax incentives of $7,500 and then additional state incentives on that. So if we were to buy one in California, after all of the tax incentives, you could buy this for like a little over $21,000, which is outrageous.
That is so intriguing.
However, there is a complication. That complication is range. Sweetie, for $500.
Oh no!
No. I'm not going to do that to you. But let's talk about range. Do you know what the range is on this?
I think it's around 100 miles.
Yeah, it's 110 miles range, which is well below what you find in like a Hyundai Kona, certainly less than you get in a Model 3. That's very much on the low end of the range spectrum. You're not going to cross the country in this thing. This is like a city car, probably a second car. For us, that would be perfect.
It would be
That would make perfect sense. What do you think? Is a 110 mile range something that would put you off from buying the Mini Cooper, or would that meet your needs? Tell us in the comments. There is an app that allows you to stay connected with your car. It tells you the state of charge. You can set it up to precondition the car so that it's not sweltering hot inside when you get aboard. They've got a mini wall box that can charge your car from 0 to 100% in as little as 3.5 hours. Easy overnight charging. And then when you're out and about, this also has standard DC quick charging abilities. So you can use, let's say, the Electrify America charging infrastructure. And using a 50 kilowatt charger, you can go from 0 to 80% in about 35 minutes.
Oh, so I could actually drive this to visit my mom if I took a lunch break.
Yes, you could drive this to visit your mom. Interestingly, 35 minutes takes you to 80%, but to get to 100%, it's an hour and a half.
How?
That last 20%, Speaking of the battery, so it's a T-shaped unit that uses the center tunnel and also the space where the fuel tank would be. And because of that arrangement, cargo space and interior space in the electrified Mini is exactly the same as it is in the gasoline Mini. You literally give up nothing in terms of space going electrified. I think that makes it a more desirable choice because, you know, space is already at a premium here. Infotainment. There's a standard 6.5-inch unit and then an optional 8.8-inch unit. The 6.5-inch unit has Apple CarPlay standard. That's lovely, but I do find BMW's interface to be a little perplexing. It's not as immediately intuitive as I would hope. If you owned this car, it would be fine. Actually, I will say that I've had a couple of times in other BMW products where the wireless CarPlay can be a little bit finicky, and it can get weird and disconnect your phone for no reason whatsoever.
Maybe he doesn't like you.
That I would say that's likely.
All the excessive complaining.
Yeah. This guy, he's got it too good. I'm not going to connect my CarPlay for him.
I love the holder for your phone. I love that you can conceal it because I'm always connecting my phone and then walking away without it and realizing, oh, now my phone is just sitting exposed in my car.
I have never met anybody who loses their phone with such great regularity.
Misplaced. Like, you haven't had to buy me another one.
I haven't had to buy you another one, but the frequency with which you use your watch to find your phone.
Within their house?
It's usually like within 5 feet of you too, but you have no idea where it wound up. We'll blame mommy brain. One of the other distinguishing features of the Mini Cooper SE is its sounds. When you start it up, it sounds like somebody went through a music library and typed in the search box, futuristic. It sounds like that. And then when the vehicle's driving at low speed to let people know that it's in motion because there's no engine noise, it's a little futuristic. If you like sounding like the future, the Mini Cooper SE is waiting. To my great delight, the Florida road gods have provided me with an off-ramp. Let's turn this Mini. Oh, and there's an Acura NSX in front of us to set the pace. Very confident, very stable. I wish that was a much, much tighter corner, but for the one corner I could have, not bad. Shame that this right-hand turn qualifies as real serious driving here.
Whoa.
Yeah! Did we miss any remarks? Tell us in the comment section. Synopsis! In synopsizing the Mini Cooper SE, it is electrified, it zips through traffic, and it's somewhat limited in range. To me, the Mini Cooper SE is the pink illuminated rollerblade guy we saw in South Beach of cars.
That is perfect. I'm so glad we saw that guy.
Yeah, we were just cruising around South Beach, and like this dude with rollerblades that have light up wheels, which I didn't know you could even get, comes blasting right through. Sometimes they just fall in your lap. Thank you, rollerblading guy.
For falling in our lap.
Metaphorically speaking, not literally. Get out of here, you dirty iguana. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. At 100,000 subs, I'm going to review a windowless white van. That's the kind of thing we should do in Florida. That actually makes a lot of sense.
This is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, if we're lucky, I'll just be abducted in a windowless white van, and I'm guessing there's like 50-50 odds it winds up in Florida anyway.
That's so true.
Yeah. As long as I got a GoPro running, we're set. I think we had some fun. I think maybe we saved the planet. High five. Come get your high five.